You need to work on reacting to the reality you want to be in and not reacting to the one you're currently in order to help shift yourself out of it. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast, your raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic source for all things manifestation related. I'm Roxy Lee, and for the last decade, I have been researching and developing my signature 360 method, which combines behavioral science, quantum physics, and the law of attraction to help you manifest a life beyond your wildest dreams. Visit roxytalks.com for more info. Now, let's get into it. Every moment of every reality that ever could be or ever would be has already been created. And we are simply jumping from reality to reality like hopscotch or like a game board. And just as, you know, gave this analogy on my Mindset Monday live chat today on YouTube, but just as, Baltic Avenue or fucking the cheap spaces on the Monopoly board are just as viable and right there, I can jump to them as Park Place or what is it, Broadway? Oh my God, it's been a while. The expensive ones, right? They're already there. The game board has been created far long before I pick my little iron. That's my favorite Monopoly little piece, and set it on the game, right? And move my thing along the board. That space is there whether I roll the dice and get to land on it or not. That space is there whether I, go directly to jail and don't pass go or whatever. It's all already in existence before I play the game. And it's the same with our reality. All of the infinite possibilities for you and every single other person on this planet who ever lived or ever will has already been set up and is waiting to be occupied by your spirit or your soul or your physical body, however that part works. And we need to understand that the realities, the infinite realities, the infinite potential, that is the constant. That's already there. That's not going anywhere. We know creation has been done. There's nothing new created. It's all the same shit. What we're doing is we are the variable moving through the constant. We are the thing that is changing and shifting and navigating. We are navigating through still images or still snapshots and moments. So when we're talking about everyone is you pushed out, the reason that every single person can and does get to the reality that they choose with their thoughts is that each one of us has access to the infinite amount of potentiality that is out there for us. And we're all doing it what seems to be simultaneously. I can't speak to whether or not we're all really here. I don't really know as far beyond of what's Earth actually is. But if you operate from the stance that I can get whatever I want and it doesn't infringe upon what you getting, which is whatever you want, which doesn't infringe upon that person getting whatever they want, because everything is available and open and viable to every single person right now already, then we don't have to worry about infringing upon people again or, taking away their free will or worrying about the how. The how is irrelevant because the how is in the game piece moving. I want you to focus more on what you do when you land on Broadway or Park Place. I hope it's Broadway because I keep I keep saying that. So the idea of everyone is you pushed out means that the people you come in contact with are going to behave in the way that is set forth or set up or assigned in the reality that you move to. Remember again, you're moving to realities that are already in existence and already have the trappings, as I say, of that reality, including the people necessary to facilitate the validation of that reality. So, meaning when I had that first deliberate manifestation of encountering that person that I had, accidentally visualized a cajillion times, I moved into the reality where that person was at the same location that I was. And my intuition literally moved me there. And side note, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll have to check out the full episode of the podcast for this backstory, which you can find on my website, roxytalks.com, and on all of the podcast platforms. But let's go down this road. Let's think about the other person, okay, that I was manifesting. What were they doing that day? Had they planned to go to the mall all along? Or had something been inspired in them when I came into the vicinity of their part of the city? When I was in, my timer went off, she's at so and so miles away, time distance before she gets to this place, and she's going to walk to this. And then this person is at this time distance and needs to be sparked into getting out the door and heading to the mall. What I can guess and surmise is that I manifested the version of them most likely to be at the mall at the exact same time as me. And in order to get myself to the meeting place, which again was out of the shopping I was already doing in a store that I really wanted to be in, and into another store that they were headed into in that very same moment. I had to be overtaken in that moment to get me there. And even as I'm thinking about this, I find it very funny that the universe used anger to get me to leave that store. I feel like that says a lot about who I was at the time. Of course, not anymore because we're working on that every single day. But that was what was most likely in the thing most likely to inspire me enough to leave a store that I really, really wanted to be in, that I was already carrying tons of shit ready to try on, right? So it's really interesting just thinking about, that trigger and what led me there and all of the events leading up to that day and just where, you know, it has led me now, of course. So what we can take away from this, again, thinking about everyone as you pushed out, and just let's not even say everyone is you pushed out, but everything is you pushed out, because understand that thing, person, experience, it doesn't matter, it's all the same, it's all energy, right? So what my story of accidentally deliberately manifesting somebody can tell us is that persistence, pushing past doubt and uncertainty, not worrying about the how, just knowing that it's going to happen is the key, okay? Putting yourself in the mindset not of, I really want this to happen, but more of like, what will it be like when it happens? Because that part is not under question. Of course, it's going to happen, but what is it going to be like when it is? And that's what I was doing when I wasn't worried about, like, well, how are we going to meet? I don't know how it's going to be. Like, I don't know this person. It's going to be weird, like how it's going to be. And it was more so like, I don't know. I mean, like, coming face to face, turning around and coming face to face, turning around, coming face to face. I don't know, turning around, coming to face to face. It was just like the action of it, the inevitability of it was what was on my mind, not necessarily like that I wanted it to happen. I knew it was going to happen. It was more so of like, what's it going to look like when this thing happens? And for whatever reason, that sister thing was in my mind. And that's exactly what was set up to happen. Now, again, like if I had gone into that second store, I do believe it would have turned out just like I envisualized. I like that word, envisualize. That's cute. I need to Google that and see if it's a thing. If it's not, we're taking it. Hold on, let me Google. I love to fact check. Every time I like make something up or have an analogy, my video editor Rylan, she's not just my video editor. She's the mini Roxy. She sees me do this all the time because I'm like, hold on, I need to know if I just made that up or if that already existed. Okay, I think we made this up. Nope. Invisualize.io. Shit. Okay, so It's something. There's an Instagram. All right, fuck it. Anyways, that's how I do my fact checking. But either way, when we visualize, envision, or invisualize something, or what I did, I created, I guess, the template for what was going to happen. And I don't think, I personally do not think that visualization is required for manifestation. I know it's not, but again, it's like it wasn't whether or not I was going to manifest them that was in question. It was like, what is it going to look like when it happens? That's what was in question. So again, the inevitability of it, knowing it's happening, and then very important as well is the being open when the universe presents you with the opportunity. Because if I hadn't listened to that voice in my head that said, just keep going, I may not be sitting here today. I may not be doing Roxy Talks if I hadn't followed that, because it was that very notion and that very mind fuck, if you will, of did I predict this or did I make this happen that led me to discovering the law of attraction? And this very manifestation changed the course of my entire life. And now reflecting back, maybe that's why I was so drawn to this person to begin with. When I found them, they reminded me of a more evolved me, and it allowed me to see more for myself than I ever really thought possible for me. And it gave me something greater to strive for, to be honest. And, maybe they were my white rabbit all along. And maybe that familiarity that I felt the first time I remember seeing them on social media was part of our soul contract, because I knew there was something there, and there was. So just remember, no one is ever too far away or separate from you. Whether you think of them as a celebrity or a stranger, they don't know you exist, you live thousands of miles away, they don't want to be with you, they're with someone else, whatever. All of that is just an illusion, because that's just like a game piece on your board. You can just go to another game piece and get an entirely different reality, an entirely different version of whatever it is we're talking about, person, thing, experience, whatever, you even. So nothing is separate from you. So don't believe that hype. You can call anything or anyone into your immediate energy field, and it just takes focus, or as I always say, awareness and discipline. That's like the crutch of my practice, awareness and discipline, which equates to paying attention to everything running through your mind and out of your mouth, and then having the mental fortitude to shift your thinking onto something else, something more productive, when you catch yourself thinking thoughts that don't fit in with the new reality that you're working towards. And that's just a long-winded way of saying that if the you in your desired reality wouldn't have a thought like that, then it doesn't belong in your mind now. Because you need to work on reacting to the reality you want to be in and not reacting to the one you're currently in order to help shift yourself out of it. I love you all. I appreciate you. Please feel free to share the podcast, give it a thumbs up, leave a review if you're on Apple Podcasts, and just help us let more people know that they're in control and they can actually do what they want in their lives, and they don't have to be tied down to the stories and the instances that they've experienced in their life. And, we're all doing this together. We're in it together. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. I'll see you next week.